Hello there everyone, how's it going? It's Deedee here, and this video is going to be a little bit different than my usual PvP video, but it is something that I think I actually needed to address it even sooner, and I just kept delaying and delaying until I thought that the time was now. So this video is going to be regarding add-ons, more specifically add-ons that I think are useful in PvP and that I use myself, since I do get asked quite a bit what add-ons do I use or what add-ons would be beneficial in a PvP situation. I'm gonna list here a couple. Now, before we start, I don't use that many add-ons since I really do like a clean UI, and that is pretty much what I try to do. I try to make my UI as cleaner as I possibly can. However, I do think that I could do actually a much better job at it, but anyways, also, I don't really like, or at least try to avoid using as much as possible, add-ons that in my personal opinion just reveal a little bit too much on a PvP situation, like add-ons that actually sway what your enemy is popping or what it has popped or what it's starting to cast. I try to avoid these as much as I can. That's just a personal opinion, a personal preference, since not using those actually improves your awareness, and I want to be able to do things by myself and not having an add-on actually telling me what to do or what the enemy is doing. That just improves your awareness as a whole. However, I do think, and I do use some that I personally find very useful and not too much revealing. So that being said, let's start with it. Oh, and all of these add-ons that I'll mention and that I'll list, they will all be on the description with the download link in case you are interested in using them. It will just be there in the description below, so take note on that. So the first one that I'll mention is going to be SArena. SArena is pretty much a replacement for Gladius. Since I don't really like Gladius, in my opinion it's just a little bit too big and it takes away a lot of my screen for my taste, and I know that that panel can be resizable and customizable, but I just prefer SArena as a whole. What it basically does is it allows the enemy arena frames be completely movable and resizable to whatever you want. You can place them wherever you want for clearer view. Not only that, of course, as Gladius, it also shows the enemy trinket, so it allows you to see on the enemy arena frames if they have a trinket, if they used the cooldown on the trinket, etc. One kind of downside that this add-on has about Gladius is that this does not say in the party chat when the enemy is drinking, which that is kind of important, but like I said in the beginning, that's a personal preference, since I just prefer to be aware when they're drinking myself other than having Gladius to tell me. So that's pretty much why I use SArena. Another one that I think it's very helpful, and of course I use it myself, is called OmniCC, and what this basically does is, in your bars, in the icons of your abilities in your bars, it just shows a little timer on the cooldown of your abilities, so it just makes it a lot more easier to know when stuff is coming out of cooldown, when your stuff is coming out of cooldown, and just makes your life really easier just for that in general. It also has an option, if you want to, that when your abilities come out of cooldown, it can show a little aura, like the icon of the ability pop up in the middle of your screen, bigger, so you can know without actually just viewing the action bars that it's up off cooldown, ready to use. Really good. This one is actually going to be one of my favorites to use, and I wish I could actually play better without it, but I actually can. It just makes the life way easier. This one is called LoseControl, and the main feature and the reason why I use this add-on, it simply puts when you CC an enemy or actually your raid in your party frames as well, it shows the icon on the enemy portrait or on your party portrait of the CC ability that you use, so it's just way more easier to see on your party. If your healer is getting scattered, it just appears an icon on the scatter or the fear or the X. You can just know in your focus target as well when you're focusing the healer, and if you don't have a little bit miscommunication, you can just look at the focus frame and you can see the X icon, so you know that guy is X'd. I wish I could play a lot better without this, but it just makes life really easy and I really recommend it. Now on to the one that I think I'm asked the most, which is my bars add-on. So my bars add-on, you can use Bartender to do this. I personally use the Razer Naga add-on, and quite frankly I didn't really use it on purpose. It was actually kind of stupid, since when I actually bought the the Razer Naga. I thought that I needed this add-on in order to for the mouse to work, but you actually don't need it, so don't worry if you don't have Razer Naga, you can still use this add-on, and I actually kinda like it much better than the bartender now that I'm used to it. What it basically does is, as you can see, just allows your bars to be movable and resizable, and you can place the bars wherever the hell you want. I personally have mine just all piled up like that, simply not just for the aesthetics of the thing, also just it makes your life much more easier to see when you are looking at your bars, to see when your abilities are going to be off cooldowns. It just makes me life way more easier. If I have like a little block there, you can just, everything is freaking near to each other, so it's really easy to spot. I really like it. If I wouldn't be using this add-on, I would just use bartender to pile up my action bars, so yeah. One of the big features that I actually also really love about this add-on, and I don't know if bartender has this one, this add-on actually allows you to put your key bindings way more easier than the normal key binding. Instead of having to go to the escape menu and just look down for the right ability bind, you can simply, with this add-on, just click on key bindings and mouse over the ability and just press the key that you want. It's just way more easier, and I freaking love that feature to death. I don't know if bartender has that one, maybe it does. And the last feature of this add-on, it just makes your cast bar look cool as well. As you can see, this is pretty much the cast bar that also comes with this Razer Naga add-on, and I really like it. It's really simple. You can also resize the cast bar. So yeah, it has a lot of things overall. Mainly it's the bars, and I guess the cast bar is what you guys can see the most. And yeah, but the key binding feature is also really good, and I really like it. And like I said before, don't worry if you want to use this add-on, you don't have to have a Naga mouse at all. I was stupid enough to think that was the case, so yeah. And passing on to my favorite add-on of the ones that I use currently so far, this one is called Spell Notifications, and I really like this add-on a lot. So what it does, this shows a lot of stuff. It shows on the screen, as you guys can see, what you actually reflect. Even if it's mass spell reflection, it shows what you reflect from your parties. It just shows a lot of stuff. If you interrupt anyone, or you're not sure if you interrupted, it just also notificates you if it actually interrupted. It shows that you interrupted what type of school you did. And now this was designed, this add-on really isn't on the Curse website, or I don't think any public like add-on download website, since this was made by a warrior, and I don't think this guy really released it to public. But however, this will still be on the description as a download. It's just going to be a different site. But yeah, so who made this add-on was actually, it was actually Viv, so he plays the warrior mainly. But this add-on actually works for other classes, since I have this on, and when I do play my shaman, sometimes it also shows what you purge. However, I do think more add-ons do that as well for shamans. But yeah, it just shows a lot of stuff, like the name says, spell notifications. I really freaking like it. It's my favorite that I use. It has some sound effects as well that shows when you enter combat, you hear sound and stuff like that. So it's good. And the sound thing will kind of be weird at first if you try to use it. But it's definitely worth it, man. It's definitely worth it. Alright guys, so these are the add-ons that I use mainly, and that I really recommend for, more specifically, PvP, of course. And I really do hope that this helps. I hope that you guys discover a new add-on that you haven't already and found it interesting, or just to see another perspective. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, a thumbs up or maybe a subscribe will be absolutely wonderful, and it will mean the world to me. So thank you so much for watching guys, and see you next time.